I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and this is Equal Entertainment. Hollywood has lost another rising star. Angus Cloud, best known for his role in the HBO drama Euphoria, has died at 25 years old. Cloud's family released a statement notifying the world of his passing. Relatives say Cloud's father was buried last week and that Cloud struggled with the loss. So far, there's been no official word about the cause of death. An HBO spokesperson called Cloud immensely talented and a beloved part of the HBO and Euphoria family, and fellow actors are reacting to his death. Coleman Domingo called the late actor real, original, and sweet, and Kid Cudi tweeting, "one of the realest dudes in the business." Denzel Curry and Kerry Washington leaving the message, "rest in power." AMC Theaters has been in operation for over 103 years, and it just had its highest sales week ever. That's all thanks to Barbenheimer. AMC says July 21st through 27th set the new record, and high traffic continued after that. The theater chain says 65 of its locations also set box office records due to the two movies, and thanks to Barbie, Greta Gerwig is now the highest-grossing female director for an opening weekend. Combined, the movies made more than $1 billion globally in just 10 days. Kokomo City was a hit at the festivals, and the powerful documentary has people thinking more deeply about the lives of Black trans sex workers and their experiences. The film follows the lives of 4 sex workers in New York and Atlanta, and they hold nothing back. I spoke with Dominique Silver and Liyah Mitchell about opening up their lives for the world. Would you maybe go a little deeper in talking about, kind of sitting for some of the interviews and what that process was like, kind of opening up and trusting this person to tell these, very personal stories?
Well, I'm like usually an open book to people that I trust, and I love to educate people. And the fact that she came like to my house and wanted to film me like waking up, it's like real brings like a person to a stigma or a sexuality or a gender. So I was comfortable because it was where I felt comfortable, and she did her part really to make me feel comfortable and open and vulnerable and be able to share my story. And it also helped me that she was a Black trans woman. So I know even though she didn't do sex work or anything, she understood where I came from and the struggles that we deal with.
Yeah.
And so that helped me to feel a lot more comfortable to be able to tell my story and open up and be honest and vulnerable, and also help that she did come to my house, and this is my place where I feel safe, and I felt like nothing could happen to me here while I'm in my house. So she was really smart about doing that, of coming to our house and getting us waking up and no makeup and just the real us, which a lot of people don't really get to see, which I don't usually let a lot of people see either. So it was just, I guess, like jumping off of a cliff and hoping that it will get the message will get across, and just a big risk. But I'm glad that I did it now, and we're starting these conversations, and it's getting so much critical acclaim, and
Right.
I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. And how about for you, Liyah? Would you talk a little bit about the process of working with Dee and opening up in that way? And then also, was there anything that you kind of came out with that you surprised yourself with, that you shared that maybe you wouldn't have shared in another situation?
Um, well, for one, she did the thing that she pushed the most was comfort.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted it to come across. She said, just be authentic, be yourself. It doesn't have to be forced. Talk to me like you're just talking to a homegirl or a friend. And, we were at home, like Dominique said. I was literally in my bed during the whole thing. So it just felt natural.
Yeah.
And that did, over time, I was like a little nervous at first, but then I started to like ease into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just became a really cool experience. And I just surprised myself with, well, I wouldn't say funny because I'm always funny.
Yeah.
I'm always funny. But the story that I did tell, it was a little personal in the movie. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't watched it yet, but I did talk about almost a near, death kind of situation, like a weird situation that I was in, a sticky situation that I had to get out of. But it was needed.
Yeah.
It was needed.
Yep. Great. Well, thank you for that. And then for you, Dominique, I wonder, I don't want to be like a total bummer, but of course, I don't have to tell you that it's a hard time for trans folks in this country, especially Black trans women. And, the violence is just increasing almost year over year. And I wonder, Dominique, would you talk about the importance of getting these messages out and, kind of showing your lives as whole lives? You're not just one thing. You are a, fully rounded human being. And would you talk about what that means to you to get that message out?
Yeah, I started like activism work like in the pandemic because it was that reason. Like I wanted people to educate people and personify trans people and let people know that, people there were just like everybody else, and we're your friends, cousins, sisters, brothers, And it was very important to me when I started to do activism that I put a face to us and a success story, and you can come from wherever you came from and do what you have to do to get to where you're at, but at the end of the day, we're all human, we all have a heart, we all bleed. And it was just important for me to put a face to the name of being transgender and in a positive light, because usually we're portrayed as like, only sex workers, and we only come out at night and we only do one thing. And it was important for me to educate the people and show them that we are multifaceted and we're beautiful individuals and we're deserving of love, and we don't deserve this abuse and murder that's happening to us. It was very important to me. And sometimes I'm a little bit on the fence because I feel like I'm putting myself in front of the fire, but at the same time, if I don't, then no one else will step up to the plate. So that's what helps me drive and gives me the hunger to continue and do these talks and educate people and be present and be in spaces that I would never be in. And it's a great opportunity, and I'm glad that it happened to me.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you so much. And also for you, Liyah, kind of the same question, but I have to wrap soon, so I want to make sure I touch on the idea of, I mean, Dominique kind of touched on it a little bit, but also, getting these messages out there, showing Black trans sex workers as fully, beautiful human beings, and then also celebrating some joy. You talked about how you have a great sense of humor, and would you kind of lean into the joy piece of that?
Honestly, okay, when it first opened and I started talking and everybody was laughing in the audience, I love that. I love to make people laugh. That was initially the first really good thing about the movie that I noticed, that I was able to bring that humor, and not make such a serious thing.
Yeah.
And just to piggyback what Dominique was saying, just like the greatest people in American culture, MLK, Malcolm X, and all, sometimes you have to throw yourself in the fire to be able to get conversations started and to get things done. And I'm happy to be a part of this monumental moment. To show people we are not just these, scary things that people painted us out to be. Because when I was growing up as a child, people betrayed transgenders to be bad people. And, they still do that to this day in media. They try to paint us out to be those people. So this was the perfect opportunity to join in and be like, you know what? Let's show people we're fun. Let's show people we're funny. Let's show people we're fashionable. Let's show people we like to get cute just like everybody else. We're just like normal people.
Kokomo City is in theaters now. You can watch the Advocate Channel live by downloading our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist. Thank you for watching.